very warm welcome to you wherever you are watching from around the world to the stunning city of Changzhou and our continuing live coverage of the China Open 2025. It is day 4 of the competition and all the action happening right here at this wonderful venue, the Changzhou Olympic Sports Center Gymnasium. It's the business end of the tournament and one of the biggest tournaments of the year, the last of the Super 1000 tournaments in the HSBC BWF World Tour calendar for 2025. That is the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals trophy, today brought up by Miss Sun Min, a representative of the local organizing committee. And that beautiful trophy will of course be distributed at the end of year World Tour Finals in Hangzhou. Well, that is still a way away. We've got plenty of great matches coming your way in 2 sessions today on quarterfinals Friday, kicking off with the mixed doubles here in session 1. Wang and Jeong from Korea taking on Jiang and Wei Yazin, the number 2 seeds. That'll be followed by the women's singles. Chu Pin-Qian from Chinese Taipei's had a fantastic run this week. She's now up against Wang Ji, the world number 2 and number 2 seed. Then it's defending champions Feng Yanzhe and Huang Dongping, the world number 1 pair, taking on Rehan Kushajanto and Gloria Wijaja from Indonesia. Shi Yuqi will be continuing his quest after that in the men's singles to make it 3 out of 4 World Super 1000 titles this year. He's up against Li Shifeng. In the women's doubles, Go Pei Qi will take on Tiao Meizing. Will be paired up with Tiao Meizing against Jia Yifan and Zhang Chuxian. That'll close out session 1. But in session 2 this afternoon, that's the rundown. We've got Fukushima Matsumoto against Talentina, Wang Zhengjing against Christo Popov, and Jeong against Chen Yufei, Kang Min-hyuk and Ki Dongju against Liang and Wang, and then Rankireddy and Chetty will close out session 2 against Ong Yusin and Teo Yi from Malaysia. So looking at the mixed doubles draw, this is section 4 of the draw, and those are the 4 precious semi-final berths that these pairs will be fighting it out for. 3 China pairs vying for those berths, and a lot of big names and pairs in that list, including of course Feng Yanzhe and Wang Dongping. Big cheer for the 2 pairs coming out on court 1, Wang Chun and Zhong Na-en, followed by Zhang Jinfang and Wei Yazin. I'm very honored to have with me in the commentary box for session 1, one of our resident badminton experts, Bobby Griffin, who's been here all week. Bobby, how's the week been for you?
Yeah, thank you, Jeevan. Yeah, it's been fantastic to be here. As always, this is a really tough arena, the Guangzhou Olympic Sports Center, the China Open. The drift conditions here this week playing a massive part, and not only will the Koreans have to combat that today, but they're playing against one of the best pairs in the world right now. The top 2 pairs in the world, the Chinese duos, if you like, are the real favourites for the World Championships this summer, and the tournament here this week is really important to those 2 pairs as well. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute, but a massive test here for the Koreans.
Well, that's Latif Johari with the coin toss, our umpire.
Service or receive. One will receive, who will serve? Wei will serve.
Electric atmosphere at the Olympic Sports Center Gymnasium. And there's been a good turnout of fans throughout the week. But this is where it gets very interesting indeed. Well, Jiang and Wei, as Bobby just pointed out, one of the best performing pairs in mixed doubles. They are in their 7th quarterfinal of the year, looking for a 7th semi-final. It's been a perfect conversion rate. Before we get to them, here's Wang Chan, 24 years old, born in Seoul in South Korea. Of course, Jeong Na-eun used to play her mixed doubles with Kim Won-ho. These days, Kim Won-ho is a little bit more focused on men's doubles as he's paired up, made a dream team with Seo Seung-jae. There is Jeong Na-eun, 25 years old. Very effective play around the nets. And this new partnership has already had one result. Those were their two results to get to this quarterfinal. Gikel and Delru in 41 minutes, 61 minutes. And Shanawi and Mawar from Indonesia in 55 minutes. Dropped a game in both of those matches. But they did make the Thailand Open quarterfinals. That makes it the second quarterfinal for them. Still looking for their first semi-final. And on the other side of the nets, Jang Zhenbang, 24 years old, and already ranked 2 in the world. They have been as high as world #1. And that was in March of this year. Well, as I said, 7th quarterfinal, looking for a 7th semi-final. They won in Japan last week, and they're hoping to carry that momentum through this week. They were 2nd at the Malaysia Masters, 3rd at the Badminton Asia Championships. They won the Swiss Open, and were also runner-up at the All England and the Orléans Masters. These were their 2 results to get to the quarterfinal. Kevin Lee and Josephine Wu, 28 minutes, and Lu Mingche and Hung En Zhu from Chinese Taipei in 27 minutes. Didn't drop a game. They've been flawless all week. And with everybody in position, we are just about ready to get underway. Latif Johari, as I said, in the big chair. The umpire's chair, he'll be joined by Sydney Gallos from New Zealand in the service judge position. There's confirmation of that. There's Sydney Gallos. Well, Bobby, first pairs out on quarterfinals Friday. A little bit of nerves for them, especially I would have thought for the Korean pair.
Well, to some extent, it's a bit of a free hit. They've played together a bit over the years. They actually had 5 tournaments together back in 2019. And whilst on paper, we might not have seen these 2 players play together all that much. We know a lot about Jeong Na-eun. Of course, silver at the Paris Olympics with Kim Won-ho. After a terrific win over their teammate, Seo Seung-jae, in the semi-final of the Olympics to get there. They didn't do that well last week in Japan, and that's what sort of worries me about this match. They scraped through to some extent against Mao and Palermo of France. They lost fairly convincingly in the next round last week in Japan. So this is their sort of first tournament back where they seem to have gelled a bit better. But they're up against it today. I mean,
Wei Yao-jin is just incredible net player.
Oh, she is. I mean, she's textbook. She plays everything so well. She's fast. She's cutting everything out. She really applies a lot of pressure. And then she's got the big hitting Jang Zhenbang behind her. I mean, they were #1 for a few months over the spring of this year. They will be the challengers this week. Certainly one of the challengers for the title. And the interesting thing is, they only got to this stage last year. It's a strong likelihood they're going to get through this match today. Doing that will improve their ranking points, put some pressure on the top seeds. And #1 pair, Feng Yanzhe and Wang Dongping, who have to defend the title to maintain their ranking. So any difference in those 2 results will squeeze that gap at the top and make the seedings and rankings and the sort of chance of gold and silver at the World Champs this summer all a little bit more exciting as well. So I know that's getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but this match ought to be something of a formality for the Chinese player.
Yeah. Well, as you said, I mean, most of these players, these top players, are going to be aiming at Paris and the World Championships later on. That's the big target. Well, they've started well already. 3-2 up.
Koreans leaving a little bit too much space between them on court. Both of them needed to track a little bit further to their right to defend that.
But that's the understanding when you have a new pair where it takes a while to gel together, and those are the kind of errors that can easily creep in, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, she's very accomplished. She's won World Tour medals in women's doubles, mixed doubles with other partners, but as their ranking suggests, they've tried this partnership before. We're going back a few years for that, really, but they didn't do all that well on the World Tour at the time. I know Wang was a bit younger, but she is a quality player.
Jeong,
and yeah, I mean, they keep chopping things up, changing things around to try and unlock that key partnership. I'm not sure they've done it here with this one, but time will tell. We could be in for a massive upset. Who knows?
As always, badminton does create opportunities for upsets.
Good defense of that smash.
That's classic way, as in right place, right time, right shot.
So 5-4.
The other thing is, there's an added expectation on the Chinese, and we've got Chinese players or pairs in every match here today in front of this crowd. We're heading towards the weekend. It's 10 a.m. on a work day here, and the arena is,
it's almost
75% full. It's brilliant, isn't it? And that will only help the Chinese.
Well, you can just hear in the background of us talking this kind of general wave of applause that turns up, and the Chinese fans are going to have much to cheer about today. Some of the biggest names. Men's singles, women's doubles, and of course mixed doubles.
Defensive drive just wide enough to force Jiang to take that extra movement to his left, making that shot a little bit more difficult. So Jeong just doing enough there.
So they've started well enough, just 1 point back. I have to say though, I did watch Jiang and Wei earlier this week, and it seemed that they took a few points, 5 or 6 points, just to get up to that optimal rhythm that they have. But when they did hit that rhythm, it was steamrolling.
Yeah, I suspect part of that are the conditions out here. There's a massive difference between the training courts behind us and the centre court in particular in this pretty big arena.
7-6.
It's one of the venues around the world where players will need to be prepared to go the distance. The drift, which is front to back, there's not a lot of sideways drift here, or certainly there hasn't been that much this week. It's crept in once or twice, moving the shuttle an inch or two left to right, but it's not been that sort of relevant, if you like. And certainly at the beginning of the day, for some reason, it's fairly straight. The drift here is front to back. So the Chinese pair, who won the toss, by the way, and elected this near side of the court, this near side, it's been, well, I think we can say now, it's proven it's the more difficult side to start. It's the more difficult side to play on. The drift is with them, which means hunting and finding those rear corners with any kind of pace is really tricky, and therefore really dangerous. You can easily hit the shuttle out the back from this side towards the back. The Koreans, however, can just really aggressively go into those corners. So whilst in mixed doubles, men's doubles, perhaps you could argue it is a little bit less obvious and perhaps a little bit less relevant to things like women's singles, it's still a factor. It's much easier to play on the far side, and we can expect the scores to be a bit tighter, a bit closer, and there is a massive favour, really, with the Koreans at the moment, and they might even sneak this opening game. I wouldn't be surprised. There you go, for example. That was hard. You know, there wasn't much on that, and it just kept going.
Catches the breeze. And goes long. So, 8-9.
Good rotation. Oh, yeah, that is lovely. I'm not sure how much there was awareness of what was going on there, but Jeong here pushes in, expecting the layoff, leaving a massive gap.
And it's Jiang Wang that fills that gap.
Yeah, it's tricky really, that one, because depending on the depth and the level of the lift, Jeong actually might have gone cross. That would be the more traditional defensive position. Her partner needs to be aware of that, and just like you mentioned earlier, this fairly, let's call it a new partnership, because they have had that huge gap. It's been years since they've played together regularly. There is going to be that lack of communication, and that was highlighted in that previous rally.
So 11-8 at the break. And Jiang and Wei on their way.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So back on court for the resumption of game one.
Almost a singles net there from Jiang. He had time to play it. Oh, it's great work from Wei.
Fantastic.
So aggressive.
Yeah, that's what I meant about moving into their optimal rhythm, because they seem now to be up to speed.
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree. It's a very common playing style amongst the top Chinese pairs. We've got Chen on the other court, court 2, who I think are a bit fortunate to get to this stage of the tournament after the performances they put in at times, but when it mattered, that pair have shown that they can hold it together and take the match when it counts. So they've got to the quarters as well. They've got a tough pair in the Malaysians, Chen and To, for a place in the semi-finals. But it's a similar playing style is where I was going with that. Very fast, very aggressive, take the shuttle early, hit with a lot of power, and consistently. Other pairs to combat that have been trying to sort of hold the shuttle, find the space. Need time to do that, of course. And
they're just relentless, right? They just keep moving forward.
Exactly. So they get into that aggressive rhythm, and it's difficult to get out of that pattern of just defense.
Well, Jiang Wang with an emphatic winner there.
Yeah, good return of serve. Found the space well. Too many gaps defensively for the Koreans for me.
And now a 5-point lead for Jiang and Wei. Oh, went for the delicate approach. It's a little short, but they have this buffer.
Well played, Jeong. It's a good rally, good finish.
11-14.
That's the way to combat this Chinese pair and many of the top Chinese pairs. Just wait for the space, find the space, take the pace off.
Yeah, slow it down, slow the play down.
It's a massive temptation when the Chinese apply speed and power to then return that straight away. That is not the strategy. Basically, they're too well drilled.
Defense is too good.
Effectively, yeah. Effectively, that's what they're looking for. You see, they're just taking the shot early, hitting really hard, and the challenge is absorbing that. And when you get the chance, when the shuttle's above the tape, instead of taking that early chance and hitting as early as you can with as much power as you can, don't. The challenge is wait and caress it into
Patience,
space.
yeah.
Tofte Mæland, for example, did it so well on day one for a game and a half, and then almost lost the plot. Just sort of got too pressured. Oh, he's dived. It's still going. Just one.
Wipe the card, please.
Yeah, I can imagine though that it is hard if you're trying to kind of
12-15.
fight your instincts
Exactly.
to keep that play, and then they kept it, as you said, for a game and a half, and then they just couldn't keep it anymore.
Yeah, and like you say, it's relentless from the Chinese pair, or many of the pairs, and when the pressure's really on, it's hard to then relax and maintain your composure.
Right.
So your instincts tell you, get there early, take it, hit it fast, hit it hard, and that's exactly what the Chinese are looking for.
Well, they're not completely out of the picture at 12-15, but they're going to need a couple of good service. One of them right now.
They're going to need this opening game, in my opinion. Well played. See, she was there early and just had the composure to take the pace off. She had options there, of course. But she picked the right one, for sure.
13-15.
Oh, did so well. Neutral battle needs to find a way now to get the attack back, the Koreans. They've done so well defensively here. There we go.
Well done.
14-15.
Under tons of pressure throughout that rally. They did so well there. Perhaps the best rally they've played.
And Jeong pulls them to within 1 point. Well, I said they needed a couple of good services. That was one of them. So here comes the second. It's also the angle. Jeong Bang's angle on that first smash was so steep that they're immediately lifting up.
Yeah.
16-14.
Shouldn't have been given the opportunity. It's a big, it's a tough ask, which is why I said that and used that phrase at the beginning. But it was a bit passive, the rally from the Koreans. They had chances there to perhaps, instead of just lifting to the rear corners, they could have held the shuttle and put it wide. They could have tried to find some space. Bravery to chip the net and follow it in and get the attack back.
I think bravery is the term. You need to be courageous to kind of break out of your initial rhythm.
100%.
But yes, I do agree that lifting to Jeong Bang, especially this morning, when he just seems to be cannoning it back, is got to be rethought.
It's the one advantage on this side of the court. I've said it's difficult to play on, but when you do have a high lift, you have got the drift behind the smash. So if you get the chance to hit hard and down, it is going to come off pretty hot.
Yeah. So 17-15, nice touch in there by Wei Yashin.
17-15.
Yeah, good from Jeong. Oh, more like it.
Crouch defense from Wei Yashin. Got a first couple, but couldn't convert the third.
So active at the net, Jeong Na-young there. Going from a neutral sort of mid-court driving battle into the net, winning the attack. It's, like we said, brave. Ooh.
Well, that could be a key point. They were just 1 point back now, 18-16, and Wang, Jiang and Wei with a really good opportunity to try and seal this first game. After all that work, that's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, both the last two rallies, Jeong tested and coming up short. See the little bit of frustration there.
That's 3 in a row, and that's also 4 game points.
Well, that was perhaps the easiest one for her. The other two were hit flat and fast. She had no time to react. Needs to find that touch.
Nice pick up by Jiang.
Good rally. Oh, terrific rally.
That's fantastic. Bit low. Yeah.
Excellent from the excellent all round, but the Koreans in particular, the way they made Jeong take that shuttle late. They had a moment there where they fired it flat into that rear corner, forcing him to take the shuttle low and late, which is the strategy, like you said earlier, lifting to him, giving him the chance to smash. I mean, these two, their attacking prowess is so strong. They want to get into that position as much as they can. Forcing him to be unable to do that is key. And the Koreans showed how to do it in that rally.
They got him onto a defensive foot, basically, yeah. Oh, similar scores on court 1 and court 2. Bobby did tell you that Chen and To playing Guo and Chen. Guo and Chen are at game point as well. And the first game is sealed on court 1, 21-17.
21-17.
Bit of luck with the return of serve, catching the tape. I think all in all, it's a fair scoreline. Couple of mistakes from the Koreans. Also looking a little bit loose at times in their rotation and court coverage for me. There's a couple of times where they left too much space.
Yeah.
Actually once or twice, but they look a bit too narrow, a bit too close together. So that will iron out over time if they keep playing together. But today, I think the scoreline reflects exactly what we saw. The danger here is they're going on to the more difficult side, and the Chinese will, I think, lap up that opportunity in the second.
남자가 분명히 많이 올리는 건 없을 거란 말이야. 봐봐.
没事，就是那几个机会球，很正常。你再来，整个场上还是中间当然重要就是这边不加，这边稍微加点，对，我会找也到位一点，稍微加一点。会放的很强，这个放的没看出来。节奏还是不错。
그냥 올리는 것보다 많이 우리가 붙이거나 중간 볼 많이 컨트롤 많이 가져가야 돼. 알지? 잘하고 있어. 조금 부져주려는 썸도 올라가고 잡아주려고 하는 실수도 되니까.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So back on court for game 2. Change of ends. And as Bobby highlighted, the China pair now going to be on the slightly better side of the court. And that is just ominous
Second game.
for the Korean pair.
Level. Play.
Very nice return. Wang Chan.
1 love.
Yeah, we might see a little bit more variation on the short serve to Wang from this point. Hey.
She would not be denied, Wei Yexin. She's got an eye on that point. That's the second time we've seen Zhang Zhenbang struggling with that flat, low shot.
He's got time there, he's got options. He could hold and wait, he could then find the space, he could just push it past Jeong into the mid-court, he could drive it up the line. when you've got that style of trying to take the shuttle as early as possible and hit as hard as you can, there are going to be times when you make the odd mistake.
That was a great block from Wei Xiaoxin.
Yeah, it was. And the idea was there from Wang. It was the shot that was on. Yeah, there you go. Variation. 2 points ago, she served to Wang in that position and served inside the body. So typically you can serve at the tee, you can serve inside the body, which he's going to take backhand, you can serve outside the body, which he'll probably take forehand, and you can serve out wide. Those four, if you like, yes, there's variation across the line as well, but those 4 places are the 4 different ones, if you like. She got beaten well earlier playing inside the body. She won't serve there again, I don't think.
That's a great way of putting it, the 4 zones where you can start serving. I think there's a lot of mystery for a lot of people watching as to these different variations.
Yeah, when I serve return third shot was key for me as a player. I didn't have the power from the real court. I was the sort of 4-court player, and I was trying to be as solid as I can on serve. So working out strategies when I've got the shuttle in hand on serve with my partner was massive. That was a big part of our game. And we had 6 different serves that I would use, and I would signal one of them to my partner before I served.
Right.
And not only that, it's what I'm looking for after I've served.
Yeah, it's always the next shot.
So I'd say something like 2 cross, which meant I'm serving to the second position, which is inside the body, and I'm looking for the cross drive, or 2 net, or, you know, there's this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of those finite little things that go on at this sort of level, which you wouldn't be aware of.
Well, absolutely. I think as the neutral watching, and I think all the people watching around the world, they see the signals behind the back,
and they wonder what
and they want to know what's going on. Yeah, they want to know how that affects the game.
Yeah,
because it's so fast in doubles that they can't really track it after that. So
no, exactly.
Good breakdown.
And most of the time, it's just a verbal thing. You just, as you're walking away between, you say, right, I'm going to serve short, I'm going to serve to the tee, I'm going to look for straight drive, or I'm going to push the net, whatever that might be.
And I mean, that's the plan. So obviously, it's not 100%.
No. But every time you play a shot in badminton, if you then just stay neutral, passive, the chances are, if you give your opponents respect, they're not going to sit it on a plate for you.
Right.
Therefore, you have to take some kind of opportunity. So when you say I'm looking for the net after I've served, doesn't mean that's the only thing you're looking for, but it means you're putting a few more eggs in that basket. 60% of me is going to look for that net. If they try and play wide, I'm going to try and do something else. But you see it in singles all the time. When players play a net shot and then switch their feet, they're looking for a certain lift. If that lift comes, they're up early, they hit down hard, they try and win the point. If it doesn't come, they're 40% behind the rally, not 60% up on the rally.
But of course, I mean,
you recover.
In singles, you've got a lot more time. In doubles, it's microseconds, right?
Which is why you need your partner to A, know what you're doing, and B, cover the other thing that will likely come if it doesn't. There's a lot going on, I can appreciate that.
Well, I hope that's opened the eyes of a lot of people watching on the court. It's 6-5, and the Koreans are ahead. A nice dig out there from Zhang Jinbang.
Looking relaxed in defense, the Chinese. Wei Xiaoxin wants to be part of the rally.
She has got that.
How calmly have the Chinese pair turned this around?
Oh, yeah.
They just look so relaxed in defense.
Yeah, just waited for that error that did come in the end. Looked suspiciously like that shuttle caught the breeze in that corner.
If they don't give the Koreans the big smash, if they don't lift it high to the back, and they're sort of just pushing it into the corners, pushing it wide, finding the space, they can relax, because the Koreans now don't have the opportunity to drive the shuttle hard. It's likely to go out the back, and in the end it did, which fortunately for me highlights the rally. But the Chinese pair can just relax and sort of dictate. They can pick their places on the court. They can chill out and just sort of push it into space and keep doing that. We'll see it in the singles matches a little bit more obviously later on.
Well, that one just long and wide from Jiang. Bad luck. Great body defense again from Wei Yaoxin.
Yes.
She's dealing with these shuttles that are coming as body shots very well. So 7-all. Not the situation that Wang and Jeong would ideally want. Being a game down. And a reminder from Latif Johari to keep the general pace of the match alive.
Good return of third to get the attack. That's well played.
Server 8-7.
Look how far that's gone out.
Yeah.
Server 8-0.
It's even more important since the change of ends that the Koreans try and hold the attack here.
Backhand down the line from Jiang Bang.
9-8.
Comes back wide. So Jiang and Wei, as we approach the second mid-game interval, snatch the lead. 9-8.
Good return again.
Uncontested from Jiang Bang.
10-8.
That's the sort of shot, the kind of option the Chinese have. It's just simply driving it flat. There's no danger. It's unlikely to go out of the back. You have to hit it really hard to do that from this side. From the Korean side, that kind of shot is so dangerous, and that's why, for me, it makes the change of ends so important. And actually, the Koreans have done well to get to 8-all. I thought the Chinese would have taken more of a lead by now, but they're still ahead.
11-8 at the break.
过了就过了，讲什么来处理？而且我们真的不服，超不服，他打不死我们，看什么东西呢？对不对？又不像咱们刚才平台一开，他攻不死我们怕什么呢？先去抢，抢不了就怼你后场，因为我们可以家里，我们不怕失误，不怕底线球，他怕的，对不对？对吧？就集中去小一点，你看他基本都是对往前强我，你就在这拿住拿不住就给他挑给他。
Part 1, 20 seconds. Part 1, 20 seconds.
什么？咱现在跟这么做，长5次。
11-8.
So back on court for a very important passage of play for the Korean pair, Wang and Jeong. They need to turn this around if they can. It's going to take, as Bobby pointed out, very delicate strategy indeed, and even more delicate execution. While, of course, constantly battling this relentless attack.
Yeah, and it's a patient attack as well so far. The all-guns blazing approach has actually been toned down a little bit by the Chinese. They seem so comfortable out there, and they're playing with that style too.
2 quick points off the interval, after the interval, and things looking increasingly dire for the Korean pair. Pressure increasing on them.
I think that's 6 straight points as well.
Yeah, from 8-all. They were tied at 8-all, and then
I think they were 8-7 down, yeah, and 6 on the bounce. And like you said, crucial part of the game, especially for the Koreans. So worrying signs.
from Jiang Jinbang. That's netted by Jeong. And
14-9.
14-9. Well, if they were patient before, they can afford to be even more patient now, because it really is up to Wang and Jeong to make something happen. If it continues on like this, there's a sense of inevitability about it.
I think she might have missed here. Challenge or not?
I couldn't see the line, Judge. There is a blockage in the way. But yep, yeah. I think she did. She go wide.
I think the call's out, but it was brilliant from Wei. It's a shame it went wide.
Yeah. Replay confirms it. No challenge needed. Oh, let played. She wasn't ready.
Yeah, she's just apologised to the umpire. She knew she was going to get a ticking off for not being ready. Ooh. That was hit hard. See what I mean by patience? Yeah. That is lovely from the Chinese. What a rally.
What a shot to end it as well. Wei Yashin proving her worth at the net as usual.
Good touch. Good touch. Just, yeah, that is good. And I liked what Jiang did as well. He's just Mr. Cool at the moment in this second game.
That's out. That's got to be frustrating for Jeong Na-eun.
16-10.
You get your opportunity. It's so hard to craft that opportunity, and then that trusted shot lets you down.
Yeah, I just think Jiang is playing with a composure that I've not seen from him over the years. I think he has been guilty of
being a little bit too impetuous, a bit too
erratic,
rash.
a bit too keen, making mistakes, and now, especially on this end, and in this game, in defence he just relaxed, puts the shuttle into space, no problem, you know, nothing's going to worry me. Oh, that was going long, but it, I think, hits Jiang on the way through.
11-7.
And in attack, he's just cool and calm and just finds the space. Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Well, that might be what their coaches see as the next advancement, iteration for this pair. Now the attack is sorted out.
You used the word relentless earlier, and when they get in that position, the shuttle's going down, and they're in that narrow attack, you know, front and back, they just don't.
They don't stop.
They don't stop.
They don't
just,
stop.
you know,
Steamroll forward, yeah.
That's it.
18-11. And they're on one of those steamrolling runs right now. Remember, they were 8-7 down just before the break.
Variation on serve. She was looking for number 4 there. There you go.
There you go. Well, that's massively opened my eyes. That's how I'm going to see things from now on. Those 4, and even as you said, break it down to 6. I'm sure there's plenty of other
13-18.
ways you could do it. 13-18. Now this is a chance for Wang and Jeong. However small, a chance nonetheless. Well, I said that obviously because we haven't seen a 5-point run from Wang and Jeong. And so the statistics are now working against them, especially at 19-13. No mistakes allowed.
Yeah, their biggest run in the opening game was only 3 points. Their biggest run this game has only been 2.
Statistics never lying.
If you can't put run of points together, and it's point to point, you know, how can you win when the Chinese are hitting 6 on the bounce, 4 on the bounce, you know, that kind of thing.
So there is an air of inevitability about it unless you can break that rhythm. Nice touch in by Wei Yashin. That's all she's doing at the front. Clinical. So 6 match points after 36 minutes. And they've been good value, Jiang and Wei.
Yeah, the second game was always going to be a little bit more comfortable for the Chinese on that better end. And actually, Jiang in particular, and Wei Yashin to some extent, probably not even in top gear here. even more room to go, I would say. Brilliant.
21-14, and they've made it 7th quarterfinal, and it's a perfect conversion rate still for Jiang, Bang and Wei Yazin, 7th semi-final of the year. And it's going to be even more significant for them because it's in a Super 1000 event.
Won by Jiang, Bang and Wei Yazin, 21-17, 21-14.
Well, they've improved their ranking points by doing at least one round better than last year. If they can make the final, which in my mind I think they will, they might even be contenders for the title here. That will squeeze the rankings even more and put some pressure on their teammates at world #1 spot. They're looking good.
Well, interesting to see Wei Yazin shaking her head after that win, a 37-minute win in straight games. But she's such a perfectionist that she has still seen something that probably needs to be fixed. But great to have it. As I said, it was a significant tournament, Super 1000, and in front of their home fans as well. So the quest continues for Jiang and Wei. There's confirmation of it. 21-17, 21-14, 37 minutes. Jiang Bang and Wei Yazin bag the first semi-final spot. Up next, it's the women's singles. Chu Pinchan from Chinese Taipei taking on Wang Yi, world #2 and #2 seeds. Welcome back to our continuing live coverage of the China Open 2025 here in sunny Changzhou. That was a great performance by Jiang Bang and Wei Yazin. Fans happy with that one. And they can continue to cheer for Wang Yi in the women's singles up next against Chu Pinchan. Well, the women's singles division just so competitive these days. Those are the 4 semi-final berths, and those are the ladies that are vying for it. And in amongst them, of course, Jeong has been perfect all year.